Hey everyone, welcome to the Everyday Human podcast. My name is Easton Taverna. Each day I'll share a reflection written by me and inspired by literature, poetry, music, movies, video games, and more. And after that, I'll share a prompt for you to write your own reflection. Together, we'll explore what it means to be human. Every month, we'll walk a new path, taking a look at life, death, the universe, and everything in between. Thanks for coming along. I'm glad you're here. For more, visit eastontaverna.com or join me on Instagram at _everydayhuman. Hello, everyone. It's January 14th. Welcome to the Everyday Human podcast. My name is Easton Taverna. Thanks for joining. Before I get into introducing today's reflection and inspiration, I'm going to say that this is the first of many sort of personal reflections in this book or on this podcast. As I was moving along writing these, I was kind of finding my voice, and I decided I wanted to share some real truths from my life, moments and experiences that helped influence who I am and the writing of these reflections. And today's reflection has a lot to do with miscarriage. My wife and I suffered 4 miscarriages on the journey to get where we are now with our daughter. And I know listening to this subject matter can be difficult for those who are either going through it or have gone through it. I do feel, though, that it's important for us to speak about this kind of thing, miscarriage in particular. In our experience when going through it, it was sort of this thing that lurked in the shadows and that happened to other people, and it felt stigmatized. But we've met so many people who have had similar journeys and are so strong and have come out the other side to amazing lives after the fact. So, if this is difficult for you, you can turn it off now. If not, listen on. Today's reflection is called Mad Max and Miscarriage, or You Keep Moving. Sometimes I have 2 titles to a reflection or a chapter in some of the books I write. And today's reflection was inspired by the 2015 movie Mad Max Fury Road. This movie isn't for everyone, I know that. But I loved it, and it got me through some tough times, as you'll soon find out. Okay, on to the quote. This is dialogue spoken between Max and Furiosa after their rig breaks down in the middle of nowhere with the bullet farmer hard on their heels. Furiosa says, "What if you're not back by the time the engines are cooled?" And Max looks over his shoulder and shrugs, and he says, "Well, you keep moving." Okay, and now on to my reflection. A red stain on white bed sheets, the shape of an L, like Louisiana. I stood on the bedroom side of the bathroom door, helpless, as my wife was on the other side, just bleeding. Sink faucet running, doing a piss-poor job of drowning out the sobs. This was the first miscarriage. Over the next 3 years, we'd have 3 more. My wife, the strongest person I know, nearly died during one of them. And then, a few days before Christmas, one of those blurry years, my father died alone in his basement apartment. We hadn't spoken for a number of years before that, so he never knew about our losses. It all hit like a big rig. How do you handle all that loss? This was almost 10 years ago now. I was younger, less resilient, and more prone to letting my emotions run wild. I drank myself stupid after the losses, of course, to numb the pain. And though I've since quit drinking, those cross-eyed nights and vomit-inducing hangovers from the next mornings will forever be burned into my memory. And one of those evenings, Fury Road and a bottle were the escape plan. I liked it the first time I saw it and needed something to tune out the rest of the world. The "we're so sorries," "please let us know if you need anythings," and any number of well-meaning yet seemingly canned comments like that. I needed to tune out my grief from the loss of life, the loss of pure and unadulterated potential, the lives which never had a chance to be, but played out over and over like some haunted movie in my mind. I guess I didn't recall the themes of parenthood in the film being so prominent before putting it on. Failed parents, the desire to be a parent, the loss of unborn children, but it was the scene when the bullet farmer was hard on Max and Furiosa's heels that stuck with me, still, to this day. It helped me to pull myself up and get back in the driver's seat of my own life, so to speak. The rig had broken down, the engines needed to cool, and death was right behind, lurking in the shadows at every turn. Something had to be done, so you do something. But what do you do if your plan fails and it all goes to hell? Well, you shrug it off and you keep moving. So simple, right? It's not when you're in the thick of it. That is, not until you realize that that's all you can do. Until you realize in the face of defeat and failure, even when the stink of death is everywhere, stopping is not an option. And it's not running from your grief or burying it. You must feel it as it is a natural part of you. It's moving forward, moving on from it, putting it down, because you can't carry it forever. The inevitable will happen to you. It happens to us all. Lose your job, you keep moving. Evil leaders get elected, you keep moving. Bad people do bad things, you keep moving. Get sick or injured, you keep moving. Breakup or divorce, you keep moving. Pet dies, you keep moving. Miscarriage, you keep moving. Parent dies, you keep moving. Child dies, you keep moving. Loved one dies. Whoever it is, you keep moving. And you always find something to move toward. No matter how bad it may seem in the moment, no matter how sharp, how deep the knife of grief is in your heart, the sun always rises. The love you hold for that which you lost never dies, and you will always continue to be you. But what sort of you would you be if you just stopped? And that is it for today's reflection. So the question you can ask yourself and write your thoughts down in your journal or just ponder over is this. How will I remind myself to keep moving? What will I move toward when the time inevitably comes? All right, that's it for today, January 14th. Thank you for listening. Thanks for coming to the Everyday Human podcast. I'll be back tomorrow, January 15th. Have a good one and take care.